All right, guys, I got some big breaking news that just came out. We're getting reports that the US and the UK have decided that they are going to airstrike Yemen. Now, when I say that, I don't just mean sort of tit for tat on the seas. I mean, they are targeting cities and specific targets in Houthi held areas of Yemen. It's a little difficult in the fog of war to get all good information right up front here, but here are the names of some of the cities that allegedly they're bombing at this moment: Sana'a, Hodeida, Sada, Damar, Taiz, and Zabid. So if these reports are true, then that is a number of cities, a number of targets in Houthi-held regions in Yemen. Now, I of course should point out that the U.S. and the U.K. are doing this. They say that like the Netherlands and some other countries are with them with this coalition, but this is always what they do. They'll like drag in some other countries and pretend like they're part of this big coalition, but really it's just to get the name down on paper to make it appear more official than it actually is. I mean, the big point to make here is this is illegal. In order for the U.S. to start bombing another country, you need a declaration of war through Congress. That's what the Constitution says. And Biden didn't do that. If you had the time to go talk to the UK and go talk to the Netherlands and whoever else was nominally involved here, you didn't go and talk to Congress at all. In fact, I've already seen a number of tweets, and credit to these politicians who are coming out and saying this, but Val Hoyle is one congressperson who says these airstrikes have not been authorized by Congress. The Constitution is clear. Congress has the sole authority to authorize military involvement in overseas conflicts. Every president must first come to Congress and ask for military authorization, regardless of party. We have Ro Khanna came out and said a very, very similar thing. And I don't know, I haven't seen any Republicans yet say it, but of course, I know Thomas Massie will come out and say it. There may even be others who come out and say it. I saw Lindsey Graham celebrating what Biden is doing here. But let's understand something, guys. Why is this happening? Why is it the case now that our tax money is going to bomb Yemen? Because Israel decided to do a genocide in Gaza. They've killed 28,000 civilians, including 12,000 children. And Yemen decided we want them to stop that, so we're going to go ahead and block the Red Sea to prevent trade with Israel. Now, by the way, they've been clear every step of the way. If Israel stops doing the genocide in Yemen, we will stop controlling the Red Sea and blocking trade with Israel. And so the U.S. looked at that, and Biden was so outraged and aggrieved by the blocking of trade with Israel as they committed genocide that he decided, I need to go do an illegal, unconstitutional war and go take U.S. tax money and use U.S. bombs to go after the Houthis. Look, I'm going to say this as straightforward and as simply as possible, and this will be controversial, but it's true, which is why I'm going to say it. The Houthis are correct. The Houthis are right. In fact, you can argue they are the ones who are trying to uphold international law here. When they say, oh, you're going to do a genocide and nobody's going to do anything to try to stop it, well, let's do the bare minimum that we can and try to block trade with you. So what happened as a result of that? Okay, the insurance rates for the ships in Israel went up. Sometimes they have to take a different, much longer route to get to Israel. Oh, man, the horror, how terrible. But the U.S. would rather protect trade to Israel than protect Palestinian babies who are being bombed on the regular. If you wanted the Houthis to stop, you could have done? Told Israel, hey, you've already been doing this for months. You can go ahead and wrap it up now. 28,000 dead civilians is enough. Bombing, another hospital, another school, another UN building, another marketplace. Wrap it up. I think we got the point. I think the 12,000 dead babies is enough. If you wanted them to stop, Biden could have told them, no more money, no more weapons. We're going to stop this. This is having wide-ranging consequences. Instead, what does he do? Pats Israel on the back, gives them a green light, tells them they're special and they're precious, and then decides to drag the U.S. into another Mideast war on their behalf. I mean, I'm at a loss for words here because I always expect the U.S. to make stupid decisions, to do terrible things. But this is like a level above and beyond. This was 100 million trillion % avoidable. We don't need to be going to war with Yemen. We don't need to be bombing 10 cities in Yemen. We don't need a hot war with the Houthis. And by the way, another really important point, this makes Americans less safe. Because now you are begging for retribution and retaliation because the U.S. is doing Israel's dirty work for them. This makes us less safe. It absolutely makes us less safe. We are not a target of Houthis or Hezbollah or Hamas. But you know what? When you keep sending money and you keep sending weapons and you keep greenlighting a genocide, maybe eventually they go, hey, they are the problem. You know, they're the dealer that's giving Israel, the addict, their fix. And now you go and you bomb Yemen. I said it before, I'll say it again. The Houthis are correct. Their action of blocking the ships was correct. Absolutely. It should have been the UN that was doing that, right? It should have been the US, if we actually cared about human rights, us doing that. No, Yemen, a super poor country, had to do the right thing and step up, and now we're bombing them as a result of it. Now, I should point out, there are some reports that are unconfirmed as of this moment that they went after U.S. ships. So, Crystal was telling me that just the other day, we targeted a bunch of their drones. We, shot down a bunch of Yemen's drones, the drones that they're using to police the Red Sea, effectively. And there are some reports now that they went after U.S. ships. We don't know the timeline of the events. So, in other words, we don't know if the Houthis knew the U.S. were going to attack them, or the U.S. was already in the midst of attacking them, and then the Houthis started attacking the ships, or we don't know if they attacked the ships in retaliation to us attacking their drones the other day. We don't even know for sure if they did attack the ships. There are just some unconfirmed reports that happened. But now that's almost certainly going to happen. And this is what we've been talking about, guys, how everything escalates out of control and the tit for tat, it turns into a massive snowball effect, right? And so now, the Houthis fire back on some U.S. ship. Nobody's died. No U.S. people have died, right? But imagine even one U.S. soldier dies. Then, Joe Biden and neocons and Republicans, all these people could look at that and say, well, the Houthis are just a proxy for Iran, so this means Iran killed a U.S. soldier. Now we got to go to war with Iran. So this is where we're at. Look, of all the horrible things that Joe Biden has done, literally put at the top of the list, the tippy top of the list, green-lighting Israel doing a genocide and arming them and funding them as they do it, and now illegally and offensively bombing Yemen, bombing the Houthis in Yemen. This is a country that didn't attack us and was only trying to effectively do a blockade of Israel in a sad attempt to put economic pressure on them to get them to stop carpet bombing babies in Gaza. I don't know what else to say about it, man, but this is bad. And so we told you from the very beginning in those long Israel segments, we told you, look out, because this is how giant regional wars start. This is how it happens. It's a little bit of, we're backing Israel, Israel's massacring civilians in Gaza, then it's Israel doing tit for tat with Hezbollah in one area, and then it's us, the U.S., bombing Shia militias in Iraq, bombing Shia militias in Syria, Israel taking out a Hezbollah commander here, an Iranian commander here, a Hamas leader in Beirut, in Lebanon, wildly illegal. You can't just bomb Lebanon. They did. And then now we are in a hot war bombing Yemen, completely illegal, completely unconstitutionally. And for what? We know the answer. The thing that we're doing it for is to continue to allow Israel to carpet bomb children. Never been more disgusted than I am right now. And by the way, if you turn on mainstream media, good luck getting the context. There is not a single channel in mainstream media that will tell you the very basic thing. Hey, why is Yemen doing this? Why are they policing and patrolling the Red Sea? Why are they trying to block ships here? I don't understand. Again, they're doing it to try to stop Israel from doing a genocide. Putting economic pressure on them to try to stop them from doing a genocide. That's why. Now, when you hear that context, it's a lot harder to critique it, isn't it? And by the way, Hassan Piker was saying on Twitter that he turned on CNN, and they were describing the U.S. illegally bombing Yemen as a de-escalatory action. man. Holy shit, man. This is bad. This is bad. Lord only knows what happens from here. Lord only knows how long we'll continue to bomb Yemen. Lord only knows now what they'll do in response, or if Hezbollah comes in more, or Iran comes in more, or if now, Lindsey Graham starts screaming about, let's go invade Iran. But Biden's probably close. If he was going to green light a war with Yemen illegally, then why not go all the way and do Iran? Imagine blowing your chances at re-election so that you continue to allow Netanyahu to do a genocide. Imagine being that fucking stupid. Imagine being that fucking stupid. That's what we got in Joe Biden. So, by the way, final point, all you Republicans, oh my God, let's do 74 hearings on Hunter Biden's cock and balls. You want to talk about impeaching Joe Biden? You want to talk about accountability? Here you have a clear-cut example of an illegal bombing campaign. The Constitution is super clear. The president can't just willy-nilly go around and start bombing whoever the hell they want for whatever reason they want. No, you need a declaration of war from Congress in order to do a war. This is an act of war. It is 100% illegal. This isn't, vital for necessary defense of the nation at the last minute. No, not at all. Nobody makes the argument that, oh my God, the Houthis are taking down Cleveland if we don't act. Doesn't happen. So here we know this is offensive, this is aggressive, this is illegal, this is unconstitutional. If you want to go after Joe Biden for anything, here's your chance. But they're not going to do it. You want to know why? Because they agree with Biden. They agree with Biden 100%. Absolutely pathetic, terrible breaking news. This thing keeps getting worse and worse. And I don't have much hope that it's going to change.